Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank our fans and our alumni, especially our student section. Dick Price was packed tonight, and that's great. We need to, we've owed our fans a game like this, and I'm glad they came out and supported. Hopefully they'll continue to do that for the rest of the season. But obviously it's a tough ball game. We didn't play extremely well in the first half, but the guys stuck with it. We ran the ball for 14 yards in the first half and came back and ran it for 100 plus in the second half. I think that's the difference in the football game. Just continuing to do what we did. I'm proud of our guys for our effort. Wasn't as clean as you'd like it to be for the first one, but that's why it's the first game, and hopefully you're better in week 2.
Aaron, we've talked in the preseason about what you did to improve your game. So how does it feel to see that work pay off with this performance tonight?
Oh, it feels good. I put a lot of work in during the summertime, but at the end of the day, I got to credit the offensive line. They did a great job opening holes and moving guys around. So they did a great job, and I just tried my best to find the holes and stuff like that.
Yeah, even that first half, it seemed like you had a lot more explosiveness, and it seemed like the line was getting a stronger push. Did you feel like it was just a matter of time?
Yeah, definitely. We've been doing a lot of conditioning. We've been taking a lot of plays during camp and stuff like that. So I figured that we get a chance to keep pushing it and push the tempo a little bit, and we got the chance to move the ball with the run game.
And Dale, obviously a big factor is you guys wanting to stop the run more, and I want to talk to Nigel about that. So what was the key to slowing down the rushing attack?
Just come off the ball, fire off hard, stick to our gaps, play our keys, and Coach Dawson told us that we do what we got to do, win the game.
Coach, how good does it feel to get that open that season with a win compared to last year?
Well, anytime you win a football game, it's great. The reward for this is we get the national runners-up next week. So, but it feels great to get this one. Obviously, we all know what happened last year, so I think that was a little bit of motivation for the guys. But Virginia State's a good football team. Coach Barlow does a good job. The kids played hard, and I think those guys will be a force to be reckoned with in CIAA.
Obviously, you guys would like to punch it in when you had that first and goal from the 2, but the following drive, when you need those yards to keep the clock moving and you're able to convert that third down, how nice was it to see the rushing game be successful in that second half?
Well, when you can run the ball, like that, it definitely makes it easier. For me as a play caller, when you can call the same run 5 or 6 times in a row, that makes my life that much easier. And the goal line situation is my fault. They switched the front, and I didn't adjust to it. And that's why we didn't get in right there. But made some adjustments on the next drive, and the kids ran hard. Sav broke some tackles, Cameron Brent broke some tackles, and that's something that we hadn't had around here in the past. Is backs that could break tackles and get us in the end zone.
And on the flip side, what can you say about Dale and the guys being able to stop the run?
It's the tempo's hard, man. We worked our tail off on it all summer long, trying to simulate that. For our guys, I work with Coach Carney at the University of Richmond, and he's a tremendous play caller. And if you can't stop the run, you're not going to beat those guys. Obviously, they ran it pretty good in the first drive and went down and scored on us. And then they came out in the second half, had another scoring drive. But I thought our guys played well enough to win. We turned the ball over on them. We had 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions, and so 3 turnovers for us on defense. That's kind of what we're trying to do with our defense.
Comment you'd like to give on Pootie's ejection?
I don't know what happened, so I'm not going to really talk about it. The only comment I want to make on Pootie's ejection is the fact that I thought DeAndre Thomas came off the bench and played his butt off. A guy who's essentially a true freshman. Has been prepared, been ready, and what a great situation for a head coach to be in, to be able to take a kid like Pootie's Pootie's caliber out and then be able to bring you back a bit, and he leads you right down the field and throws a touchdown on his very first drive. It's why we practice, and it's who our kids are. But Pootie's a good kid, and if he did do it, I'm sure if it was a mistake, but we learn from it, we'll bounce back.
How hard was it, Coach, to manage him? How did you want to push him a little bit, or did you want to take it a little bit slower?
Who's that?
DeAndre.
Man, we don't have time to take it slow. We're in a ball game, and he was the second quarterback coming into this game, and his package is the same as Pootie's. Those guys prepare the same way, and I prepare those guys to be able to come in and play the way he did. And again, I'm just extremely proud of him. How cool he was, in his first college game.
One thing you said last year, down and distance is big for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like in the first half, even though we didn't get those running yards that you wanted, we still were good down and distance for most of the game.
Well, I thought we did a good job of staying in front of the chains. We had a couple third and longs, and as you said, Ross, the more third and longs you have, the less chance to be successful. But you know, when you can get 3 or 4 or 5 yards on first down and make a second and manageable, you know, you're in business.
You also had a couple plays where your athletes they did what you wanted them to do. You had big guys on the outside, and they played well on the outside. Talk a little bit about Chuma and Isaiah and what the wide receivers did today.
Well, you know, I mean, they're a special bunch. You know, everybody knows who Marcus Taylor is, but you know, Chuma Warner probably had a better training camp than anybody. Isaiah Winstead, you know, is a great young talent. So, you know, when you have bigger guys like that, I thought that Virginia State came out and played, you know, man coverage, and I didn't think as a football coach of this team that they could be successful covering our guys one-on-one, and you know, to be able to throw some balls up and have those guys go make plays and draw some penalties and things like that is huge for us.
Not only a good training camp for Sav, but he also is healthy for the first time probably running football. He also had 30 yards receptions, and then he had the 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving and 1 rushing. Is this something that I know you brought up a lot last year, but just wasn't that guy that he is now?
Sav's a Cadillac, man. You know, it's kind of like, you know, one of those things. It's you know, a big smooth ride, and you know, he's worked his tail off, and I'm glad to see him healthy. And you know, the work that he's put in over the summer is paying dividends for him now.
And I think last year, you know, you had 2 good inside linebackers last year, and Quintrell's come in, and you know kind of what you were getting from him. I know it wasn't surprising coming from where he came from, but how has him just stepping in really kept the defense moving?
You talking about Quintrell?
Yeah,
and Dale. I mean, you know, these guys. I mean, they can run. I think that's the biggest difference. You know, I love Ant and Kyle to death, and they made a ton of tackles, but you know, sometimes those guys will get stuck in the mud. I mean, you know, Quintrell and Dale can run, as you saw Dale running down some plays from the backside and then doing some athletic things. So, you know, I thought those guys played extremely well for their first game together.